I guess I'm not okay, because apparently I'm on the ground, right? This is so fascinating. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at a new group. This group is called ifeye and their track Are You Okay? We have a music video and a dance practice to dive into. This is also a Patreon request. Shout out to Jay for the request. I love being able to take a look, especially at Gen 5, just to see what kind of flavor they're going to bring to the chat. I'm ready. I hope you guys are. Let's go. Okay. Love it. I mean, party in the water. Oh. I like the versatility from the jump here. That's really nice. He says, "Are you okay?" This really, I mean, this music video visual. Oh, I love her cake. It's really big now. This music video does make me ask the question, are things okay? Because it looks like things are not okay. There's things happening that normally wouldn't in these spaces. Oh. How is she enjoying the movie without the 3D glasses? Oh, we're partying with the arsonists. Yeah. She's like, here's this fire I made. And they're like, let's escape. And then they're like, just kidding. We're going to have a block party instead. I like the subtlety of that. This feels like a really fascinating Where's Waldo? She's like, are you okay? But it kind of gives a vibe. I don't know if she looks concerned or you couldn't hang with us because you got to be crazy in the letting weird things happen around you like it's normal vibe. You can't vibe with us is kind of what it gives. Oh, but also I'm like invited, but I just can't hang, you know? I guess I'm not okay because apparently I'm on the ground, right? This is so fascinating. Okay, we got the dance practice. They are an even number group. So what we're going to look at is, are we going to be hiding members behind each other? Or are we going to be splitting center? What that's going to look like? What kind of creative endeavors are we going to have with this even number with 1-point features? Here we go. Make sure it's turned up. Ooh. Wow. Hey. who would create something like this? Choreographically? Wow. Well, I just had a thought, but then it may not be them. Oh, man. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna watch. Let's absorb it. Wow. Wow. I'm a fan of this choreo a lot. Hey. Okay. I'm more okay now. The music video made me ask questions. Ooh. Wow. That lingering finish. Okay. Now every time I say it, okay, I find it fun. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember what the name. I know who I'm thinking of, but I gotta remember their name though. So please hold. MOTF. This gives an impression MOTF would choreograph something like this. I don't know who did, and what's funny is I should have probably looked it up while I was trying to remember their name. But the structure of this was really captivating, and the switch offs. And the textures were really interesting too, right? Let me see if I can go dig. I went to Instagram and dug through their related posts to see if a demo was tagged with them in it. I looked and skimmed through their performance video to see if we have credits. There's no credits on the music video. Went to Reddit. There's no credits there. I would love to know who choreographed this. I don't think it was MOTF because they normally make a post on their Instagram, and I do follow them, and they haven't yet. So I would love to know. So if you're somebody who is a better detective than I, which many of you are, I would love to have that little tidbit of information. I really like the structure of this. The song also low-key slaps. It's a vibe, for sure. I also know this is technically considered maybe a comeback. This isn't, what is it? This isn't their debut. I think Nerdy was their debut track. I haven't heard it, but I was told, Jay told me that that's what it was. So we're going to talk about the choreo here. From the jump, she said, let me just take this off real quick. I really like the setup where it does have a feminine flair to it, but they don't look awkward in any of these types of sequences that a lot of times you don't see in this type of track, if that makes sense. It's really cool. Super, super appreciative of that. So they accent, boom, with a speed change. They send it over. A lot of times in girl groups, there's a high visual sensitivity, meaning like however you move, it needs to look photo ready at all times. This choreography doesn't quite give that as much room as what you would normally see in a girl group, which is probably why it comes across the way that it does. And I'm here for it. I like it. Their music video did remind me a little bit of XG's for it wasn't which one was it? I don't remember. I forgot which one, but it was like very chaotic around, and I really loved it. I love that aspect of it. But this one had like a little mix of like raw footage vibes, which there's a group called Cordis that is in a pre-debut at this point in time that also had that kind of raw look to their shots. But I digress. This is really cool. Anyway, so I like the send off there. We have a little assistance going on with our hand to the hip, and I like that we have it leaned over. I like this little peekaboo moment. And the fact that I literally said I was preparing to really clock the formations from an even group, and not a single bit of it gave the impression that we're dealing with even numbers. That's great. This is great, guys. This is really good. I hope they get their flowers, and I hope they continue this direction. I don't know what Nerdy was, but we like this. So the accent low to high is great. We bring it to the inside. We speed change it with our fingers, syncopate it up. We expand it out, drop it low. We walk. We open it up with a switch, boom, with the presentation with our hands. So we're very clear on our arms, which is really nice. So we take our arm. I like the arm swing to showcase a level. That's a fun functional reveal. Love it. Love it. Come on now. With the folds are really cool. Accenting with the wrist. With the clap is cool. We flick it with the little head. Out, in, and then we create tension with the chest, leaving the head where it is, letting that chin be pressed up is really cool. Snap that photo, sending it over, fold it down, open it up. Once again, we are catering into, like, look at how this is. They are using levels for efficiency. Because if you have a 1-point feature, you still want to, symmetry works well, but if you choose to not go symmetrical, there has to be a reason, like balance or other components that still makes it tasteful. We're using levels to supplement, right? For not having a go-to, odd number that you're naturally going to have an even number on each side. So this is great. I like the angles. I love the clarity of the angles that we have here. Look great with stylized hands. I love the trace. Whoom. And then we reset it down. Looks super fun. And then we end up moving out of the way. We have a moment with the speed, a lot of speed changes, right? Where we go nice and accented and ISO'd, and then we speed change to create tension, which we really like. So we go doom, da doom, da doom. Percussion drops in, they drop into, they set the hand over. It looks like they flick the beat up and around, and they take the arms, boom, like we're working out, and it goes okay, isolation. A lot of okay signals as we use that to transition to the corner and bring it in. We rotate to face the corner. We knock it. Boom. That does give a little gnarly cat's eye vibes, a little overlap there of the era that we're in. I'm saying there's certain moves that are going to tailor to an era. That's going to be one of those. Love it. So the hop is fun. We end up tapping, getting to the floor. It was this sequence here that gave me MOTF vibes, because Pixies Bewitched had like some sequences, not of speed like that, but of like, we're going to the floor, like commitment to floor, I think is what really made it exciting. So they take the arm, okay, and we press it, and we do a slow little dip up with the hip. We take our hands, nice stylized, we flick that arm up, out, in, and then we go okay, and we have the head nice and full, or more nuance there. Going from the column to open it out, I really like the swing of the arms to the cross. But like, do you see what I mean? Look at the hair, look at the intention of the face. It's commitment, and it works well for the choreography. It doesn't make this choreo, however, look as photo ready as other structured choreos are that you normally see with girl groups, which I like this direction. I like that we're given, versatility on multiple fronts. I'm very curious if we're going to keep this route, or are we going to have moments in our discography that are going to give those, pose elements, or are we going to be like, screw that, we're going to pop off and live our best life, It's cool. The tosses are nice accent with the chest. We end up sending it over. It's cool. I really like how we're accenting on our percussion. It's so tasteful. Cross and cross. We end up knocking with the V-step behind. Whoa, whoops. We end up sending it, placing it down with the lift, good tension with the clap, and we end up creating a little pop out of it. And then we have a stylized hand with the thumb, swinging the arm, using that to help roll through ball of the foot. Now notice this arm swing is similar to what we end up seeing later in our point choreo, but it is different in structure. It's a little repackaged. It's nice. That's a very low-key, very tasteful V, because you have a point, but it doesn't look unbalanced. Even though you have more quantity on this side than this side, they were smart. I know why, because they choose to compensate with balance. So here's the deal. You have one person here, then you got your three. Notice that there's a space in between the three. Where are those spaces being represented on this side? They're not directly in line with the girl across. They're living it up in the space between each girl. So freaking smart. That's a really nice way of making this spaced out so they have the same, I mean, it's different spacing. So if you're like a spatial, preference situation, then that's, may not be your cup of tea. But the space between these three is different than the space between these three with each other, if that makes sense. Oh, we love it. Love it, love it. What's so interesting, too, is that, so a lot of times I do navigate when I set choreography for groups with even, where I end up when I do a multi-layered formation, let's say somebody drops, and it's just way too much of a logistic nightmare for the amount of time we're given to fix it, and you end up with more people on one side or another. I had never thought until this moment to put them in the gaps. That's so freaking genius. That's so great. I don't know who made that call, but that's super inspiring. Like that helped me learn something. That's cool. I mean, just because you can clock it and recognize it doesn't mean it like processes in your brain that, oh my God, I could do that too. I learned something new. Go Jess. All right. Moving on. Come on, body roll. Yeah. Oh my God, that's so freaking convenient. That makes so much sense because then you can weave it after. I don't think they end up doing that. They take the arms, I really like the speed change out of that, getting low. And then they use that actually helped with the transition because there was a natural gap that opened up because you had that space already represented. Ridiculous. Come on now, take the arm, boom, send it to the outside, and we hit it like the rock, going in with a little bounce on it. We have more of a circle-based kind of formation with levels represented as well. They're having somebody on a lower level, so everybody's seen the whole time. I love this. Love it. So, like the flick of the hands is nice. They push it. A lot of these weight shifts where they're pressing on the ball heel, and using that as a smooth transition. If you've ever done gliding or sliding, those weight shifts and making a smooth transition between the balls of the heels to the heel is a really good kind of way to implement that too. So fun little moment there. She crosses, she opens it up. Come on, reveal new feature. She says hit, hit, hit. It to a walk it out with more dominance on the left side. And I really like the opposition where they join environmentally on their side. And my girl has her little ribbon situation just on her wrist. We love it. And then we do a little flick of our wrist. It's cool. Taking it high to low. I've used this before. Taking it high, low. I like the build of that. It's really dope. Having your feature stay still and everybody else using themselves as a transition. Look, once again, they're meeting in the gaps. There you see everybody the whole time. Now that I've clocked it, that's a component of what makes this so breathable. Is that you have these three, when they're transitioning, notice the space. There's more space here. It's to fit your feature and fit another person. Then you have my girl living in, look, the space. They know how to fill the spaces. So cool. We turn out of it, drop low, feature. She's facing a different direction. Really nice, easy way. Or not easy, simple way for us to be able to see our features. Simple doesn't mean easy. That's why I need to fix that. This is a nice add-on in groups of two. And then we end up doing a little shampoo. That's a fun moment to be able to reset your hair if you need to. They travel arms, boom, with a little melty melt onto the fingers. We set it up, boom, boom, with a switch off. We place it out. So we have a lot of these little weight shifts where it causes the hips to do these little accents out. Those are the fun little feminine moments that we like to see that tie into the track, but the spunkiness of the conversion of going from something like that into something a little bit more legato or grounded that causes a speed change, or you're using dynamics that you normally don't see in a track like this, is what makes it really captivating and refreshing. It's nice. I didn't feel this exact way about Heart by Next G, but that's something I really appreciate about Alex with Next G, is his choreography and quirk of the grunge and weird texture elements of it being integrated in the choreo makes it refreshing of how we're approaching looking at it. Because we're in Gen 5, it's not the same as Gen 2 or even early works of Gen 3 where live vocals are king or queen. Yes, live vocals matter, but now people are expecting everybody to have a crew choreo set up with live vocals to boot. Like, goodness gracious, we're asking a lot of people, right? That's just, we can have that conversation later, but I don't know what their live vocals are. When it comes to how they're moving and grooving here, we live it. We live for it. I appreciate it. It's very needed to help progress through within the Gen 5 scene of things. It makes me really curious about their other stuff. So you have that okay to the ISO down. We represent, bring it over to the other side. We knock it. So same thing as before, but now we have a V. It's equal spacing now with somebody hiding behind. This is the first time we're seeing this in a minute 28. We appreciate that. And the knockout's nice. The hop is cool. We cross, uncross, and we drop it down. And then we end up using that to help create a window. She didn't stay there longer than an 8 count standing behind her. That kind of stuff is fine. We just don't want to make a habit of hiding the same person. I believe that's happened in some of our Gen 5 girl group situations. Funnily enough, with the girl groups, you notice it more, which is unfortunate. I kind of feel like really we just should avoid that altogether. But anyway, they didn't ask me. It is what it is. I like the ISO. Okay. We're switching off on the chest there. And we go, okay. We fold it in. Boom. Set it up. And we rotate it around and like the hop on that. So they didn't let this be overly influenced by the hop, because sometimes this can get off in the spacing of it, but it stayed nice and clean and rotated. We get low, they hit it. Okay, I really like the gesture choice there, it's fun. Chest ISO's nice, tension, pull through the salute is cool. Pull it up, we clap it, ball change. Fix the hair for a second. This is nice. Like, I love that where it goes subtlety. It does have a little bit of a sprinkle of, oh my gosh. Oh, which one was it? Oh, hold on. Like the most subtle Itzy, particularly Yeji in her recent solo stuff, like the type of charisma in our approach, it has a little bit of that kind of spunky flair that I know Itzy has shown in some of their discography, but I'm just clocking specifically Yeji. I don't know in what capacity, but that's what's resonating. I think that's one of the more recent things I've looked at with Itzy. It could be why with that, or they did Girls Will Be Girl too, but I really like the conversational element of how we're presenting facially in this as well. It does tie into what is captivating about Itzy to me. Boom, we get low, and the pull with the sternums, you notice that? We pulled right here instead of just lifting, so it added some depth to the choice. Really nice, and using the arms, we switch it up. We're switching between our hands out, in. We're being intentional with the difference between the okay, because okay, are you okay? We're going to have a sensitivity to noticing this, so they have to be mindful of when they're choosing to go here for a focal point moment, or if they're wanting to create a fist or wanting to have stylized hand. You can't just let it go. You have to be mindful of it, because us as an audience, you're training us to pick up on it when you want us to. So you don't want to promote unnecessary attention, or like, are you saying okay here? Are you not? You don't want to have misunderstandings in how you want to progress your storyline, right? Oh, we present out, which is nice. We build it up. Let's go. Body roll. They said, let's go. Push it out. We cross, uncross. And we have this, okay, send it off. They hit it high, mid, and they pick it up. Really nice usage of the chest for all of this. I'm not used to seeing that in general a lot of times. Normally, you're going to see stiffness of the torso because you're singing. So that's what makes me really curious about their live vocals, because there's a lot of stuff in here that can make that a little bit on the struggle side, especially for a group that's just debuted. A lot of times I don't have a lot of that experience on stage to be forced to sing, right? I mean, being in the dance practice room is different than being on stage with adrenaline and having to regulate all that at the same time, right? And I don't think any of our girls here came from a survival show. Somebody was from a former group. A lot of them were they've auditioned to different agencies. Some have been former from, or they've been affiliated with different, we don't have a lot of information. I don't believe any of them come from a survival show, though, based on the K profile that I looked at, right? It's cool. And there's the shoulder, the subtlety with the shoulders. We're here for that. They travel it back and then do a nice little hop out of it. They hit it, rotate it around with a little shoulder shrug. We cross, uncross. It does look like we have a little okay, and we flick it to the side. I don't know if that was a pas de bourrée or just a ball change. Pas de bourrée, because you see a backside front is what you saw there. And I like that she flicks it, they turn, and then we have another feature coming over from the stage left side. We have this opening again. We had a little trace, but this time we're grabbing and we're creating an X. It's cool. And then we have a complementary X's in the respective sides. And then they turn. Now with little facing, and then we have it to the front. We have somebody hidden away. Is it functional? We're about to see. They get low. She stayed up. That's a proper, functionally successful formation. I think the last time that I really admired and appreciated how we have our formations in a breakdown was Astro. And now, I looked at Astro much later than most people. It was, I think it was in 2023, 2024 is when I started looking at them. So no, it's very recent for me compared to their discography. But that around, it's been a hot minute. I don't really get super invested in the formation composition of an even number group unless it's so intentionally captivating as a we are showing you we are trying. Like, there's a difference between, okay, we're just putting the formation there for the sake of it, which we do see sometimes because we're focused on content or focused on performance or other elements, which is absolutely okay. But then you also have stuff like this where it's very intentional. We know what numbers we have. We know how we want to feature because it is harder. Because you're dealing with an odd number to feature, to maintain symmetry. A lot of times people are just going to hide somebody or they're going to split center. Like, they go the safe route, which would make sense in order to be efficient with your timeline. I get that. Just like basket runs are another example of that with transitions where they're just simple. But you can also workshop other options. I really admire how we chose to go about our formations, our transitions, and our feature elements because they have a twinge of uniqueness, and part of it comes from you're kind of forced into that lane with your quantity. It's really nice. They toss it out, so they send it. The intention of the hand, once again, like I said, they have to be intentional. How the choreography is, you can't just let it go because we've been looking for it this whole time. Come on with the shoulder, and we send it out. Looks like it wasn't a Pac-Man, but we are lifting up one of our legs out of it. Okay, we said a ding ding, and then we have our say, okay, flick, we cross and we open it up, travel it around, pull it in, heel toe, pull it up, okay, and then we end up having tension with the shoulder out of that too. Okay, we send it up, out, travel it high, low, chug, sending it out in, nice little step touch, with a little party moment, are you okay? And then we go back to the chest, and then we have tension, letting the head kind of have this little residual pull, but it was still clean. Everybody made the choice. And they have the brush, and we do a little, excuse me, it's nice. And and instead of the no, like, oh, I'm so sorry, it's not just, this is fixed in order for the ISO to work with the head matching in a different plane than the swing of the arm, but the distance that this has to go with the arm has to clock the same, right? Like, the timing for this to get over has to match the timing here. I really, really love this, and I think part of it comes from this isn't moving, but they're making contact with the face over it. We toss it away, and the run is nice. And I love the moment, like, oh, let me fix my hair real quick so I can continue to pop off. Oh, man. Yeah, from a girl group choreography captivation element, last time was Pixie's Bewitched. Once again, more recent for me than whenever it was released. From a formation standpoint, Astro's work through All Night is my example that I would give. Both, I think, are on YouTube. So you can look at those. If you're not on Patreon, that's fine. We push it. We open it over, hit it, are you okay? And it's lingering. Boom, with a finish. This is awesome. Gosh, I hope we see more of this. This was great. This is great. I hope they're successful with this. And Jay, you're a real one for recommending this. Don't I have such great people recommending great stuff? When I say my Patreon, people are like the real deal. Complete understatement. If you want to see things in real time, like whenever I look at this, all of my Patreon requests, like what Jay's done, and then I also have people like Lauren who she recommended a ton of Boy Next Door. We have Kit, who's our go-to NCT connoisseur. We have Galish, who's been really helpful on our and team stuff. Just off the top, there are more, and we celebrate them every time we see them, right? You can Patreon, it's all free there, and then if you just don't want to wait, you should just see what I come up with or we see together. And then it comes on a YouTube at some point. I don't know when, but I really like this, and I'm hopeful that we may see more. I don't know. If I have time in my schedule, I may squeeze them in, but we got a lot of love to give to a lot of groups, so we'll see. But you guys know me, I know you. Thank you, Jay, for this request, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.